By all means, do that. All right, I think we're about ready. So please welcome to the stage our next startup. We've got Weotta with Grant Wernick, who's the CEO and founder, and Jacob Perkins, who's the CTO and founder. Please welcome them to the stage.
Weotta is a lot like having your own personal concierge. It solves the problem of what to do tonight. It also takes all the hassle out of planning it. Today, there are many products on the market that can help you find a restaurant, a bar, or perhaps a concert. But there's not a single product on the market today that can tell you what places and what events go together for your occasion. Until Weotta. What you see before you is a product of hundreds of interviews. Through these interviews, we found that most people, when planning any social occasion, think of two things. What's my mood, and who's coming with me? That's the top of the Weotta page. Simple, straightforward, the way real people plan. The second thing a lot of people told us when they go out and do things with their friends is that they oftentimes have a particular something in mind, like an event. So we made it very easy for them to tell us what that event is, and we'll generate plans that are not just nearby it, but relevant to their itinerary and their occasion. The third thing that everybody told us is they wanted review snippets of what's new and fresh and happening in the area. And that's the rest of this page. We even took this as far as offering you personalized itineraries based on your Facebook profile. Planning's never been easier. Let me show you how it works. Let's say I want to go on a date tonight with my amazing girlfriend in San Francisco, and I want a classy date. I say dating classy, and I press generate. The second I press generate, Weotta goes out across the web, looking at thousands of places and events, algorithmically classifying them, ranking them, and on the fly composing them into itineraries to fit my needs. You can see I have lots of awesome opportunities here and lots of great things to do, and relevant filters to narrow them down. Planning's never been easier, but let's do something that's really relevant to all of us today, right now. We're all in New York, and that means for a lot of us that we're out-of-towners.
What is the plan around Tracy Morgan? We just
Well, Tracy Morgan's in town, so right now it's telling me it's like go to Tracy Morgan, and then here's where you should go to dinner beforehand, and here's where you should eat afterwards.
Is that hand curated? Like somebody made up that plan?
Everything's algorithmically generated. Not a single thing is hand curated. So it really is going out in real time, looking at every place and event across the web, and saying, oh, these things go together, and these things go together, and then it's ranking them and classifying them on the fly.
What food goes with Tracy Morgan?
What's that?
What kind of food goes with Tracy Morgan?
Well, we know that Tracy Morgan's a comedian, right? So what we're going to try to do is we're going to give you a place that's going to be a fun place for dinner.
I'm just kidding.
But anyways.
I love that I've totally disrupted the whole thing. I'm sorry. I said, oh, wait,
that's what this conference is about.
I was like, okay.
I noticed my clock is different, too.
Does Tracy Morgan know that Weotta is stalking him?
Tracy Morgan should. He really should.
I have no idea now what to do about the timing, so let's just carry on. Let's just pretend none of that happened, and we'll just move on.
Okay, well, what goes to the TechCrunch Disrupt After Party, Barney? That's what we're going to learn right now. All right, you guys, so what's relevant to all of us today? We're all in New York. We're all going to the TechCrunch Disrupt After Party tonight. We all need help knowing where we should go to dinner beforehand. We all need to know what we should party afterwards. Let's do this. We're all friends here, and we're pretty hip. That second, Weotta did go back out across the web, and it looked at every single place in review and algorithmically classified again. It's that fast. So Google Maps is being really mean to us, I'm sorry. So we're going to choose plan number 3 here, and Jake, can you bring it up? If you notice, it's telling us to go to Bonn for dinner, which is a pretty awesome place for dinner that's nearby. It's also telling us to go to Bar America for a drink afterwards, and it's telling us to go to the TechCrunch Disrupt After Party. It made our evening for us. You can see that we have everything here to make a decision. We have Zagat reviews, we have open table reviews. Everything is here in review snippets with links out. You even have relevant information about each place, and you can get directions from place to place to place here, as well as booking links out to open table. If there's events here, you'd have links to StubHub, Ticketmaster, etc. And as I said, we're really going to do this plan tonight together. So I'm going to delete this last thing because I'm not that into Bobby Flay right now, so Bar America's out. And the minute I delete it, this thing's mine. I can do whatever I want with it. I can customize this however I want. But I do not know New York that well. So I'm going to ask a few of my friends who know it a lot better than me. So not just as Weotta do stuff, we get your friends in on the picture. So I'm going to ask my friend Allie, my friend Alice, and my brother Forrest. They all know New York a lot better than me. The minute I ask them and press send, they all get a Facebook notification saying I've asked them for some advice on my Weotta plan. You can see that we report it down here on the wall, and you can see that Forrest has added employees only. So in real time, boom, up here it is. You can see employees only is a bar, and the Twitter is a guy, and the Foursquare reviews look awesome. So we're going to do this plan together tonight. And the next step, now that we have our plan, is to make a Facebook event out of it. What's awesome about making a Facebook event on Weotta is that it's even easier than making a Facebook event on Facebook site itself. Watch as I do this. There's our Facebook event. That happened in less than 2 seconds. Every single place in our plan is here, and I can invite all of you guys to join us. There's a link back to the Weotta plan, and all the relevant booking links are here as well. So as I said, we're really doing this tonight, and you're all invited to join us at Employees Only after the TechCrunch Disrupt after party. So in summary, Weotta plans are generated on the fly, they're never curated, they're never canned, and I can't wait for questions about the algorithm. Making plans has never been easier, and we've just scratched the surface. As we launch more metropolitans, pull in more content, learn more about you and your tastes, Weotta will have the right inventory to the right people at the right time. So today, I just made a plan around the TechCrunch Disrupt after party. It's your turn to make plans around that. And each day of the conference, as you guys make your plans around those after parties, tweet them, and the best and creative tweets each day, we're going to give you guys Uber cabs for your evening, the 5 best tweets each day. Thank you.
Weotta, everyone. Yeah, I have no idea how this questions in the middle thing's going to scale.
Well,
I didn't really think that through.
Yeah, it got me totally off, but it's great. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we're just putting you off in your one of the most important pitches of your life. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to jump in again? Hillary, why not?
Yeah, so that's really cool. How does it work?
So how does it work?
So we collect a lot of data from across the web, use hundreds of signals, we do a lot of text classification, try and make sure all the good stuff floats to the top, and then we have our expert system that can put everything together into itineraries.
Cool.
It learns as you use it, and it also learns as more people around you use it. We use your Facebook profile to some extent at this point, very little. And the more we learn about you, the more we're going to be able to do.
So there is a personalization.
There is a personalization layer that's going to get a lot richer. At this point, you saw those personalized itineraries on the homepage. That's mostly like your relationship status and a few things about your tastes. But that's going to change.
What does your relationship status say about where you like to go out?
Well, it tells us what kind of plans to serve up to you. So like, let's say you're married and you're a lady. Well, you probably want some of those girls' nights. And you probably want to know, like, hey, where should I go with my husband on a date? When the kids are sleeping.
How come you just showed us a web app instead of a mobile app?
That's an awesome question, and I knew I was going to get that.
Do you have an answer for it?
We did hundreds of interviews, and we learned that most people do their planning while they're at work. So that's why we launched this one first, so people could really start using it. We have awesome mobile plans. We have take it with you plans, and we're probably going to hire a bunch of 15-year-olds really soon to do all the coding for that.
I find this very exciting, and the reason is because a lot of traditional media fall short in being able to do this for you. And yes, and there are individual applications, whether it's Yelp and others, but the big question for most people comes in like, it's Thursday night, big night, it's date night, what am I going to do? So, I mean, this is very exciting. I guess I have one question which I'm not sure how you get past, which is, inevitably, unless, if I'm single, then this is great. But if I'm going out on a date, how does it know what my date is interested in? Does she have to log in herself? Do we just compare our plans?
So the first layer would be, we're going to give you ideas of what other people have done on dates. The second layer would be is if she's already a user of our product, or let's say you invite her into there's 2 avenues you could take here. She could help give some feedback. Or if she was one of our users, and you're like, hey, here's who I'm going on a date with, and she said it's okay, you guys could collaborate on that, or you could get her taste through our system into it.
Right.
We haven't released that part of it yet.
That's romantic. That's really romantic.
Very romantic, isn't it? Dating in the computer age.
Yeah, so I really enjoy this. I think you're hitting on sort of one of the key problems in search and mobile search. Dinner and a movie is one of our classic examples, and you see it in all the major search engines. So with that said, this becomes an execution play. Right, and then it comes down to sort of how good a product can you build, and how do you get good quality early on? Because if I come to the site, I'm expecting value, and it gives me bad recommendations, and sort of people I don't know and care about seeing, and I've got to like say, great, I had my chance at 5, and then I'm done, I'm never coming back. So how do you get good at this up front?
So that's why right now we've only launched San Francisco and New York. We haven't launched the rest of the country, mostly because we've been able to validate that the recommendations we're giving you are very high quality. How do we scale this quickly? We hire some awesome people, we raise a lot of money, right? and we scale it very fast. The awesome thing about this is, since things are not curated, we don't have to go hire a staff to hand do everything. We have to hire a few more amazing people to work on our back end, and a few English majors to help us with that training system. And you know all about what it goes into something like this. Both of you guys work on it.
Who decides that Tracy Morgan is classy? Like, who's the guy?
So it's
Sarah Lacey asked me that via text, and I just thought I'd share that with the room.
I'd say the restaurant before it and the bar after it, if I would have gone into that, are probably more the classy things. But the fact that you're going to a comedy show,
the bread is classy, but the filling is.
Yeah, we wanted to give you a show that was available today. And so when I said the right inventory at the right time, what I mean is there's a lot of latent inventory out there with local deals, local services, and with local events. And if we can push the right inventory to the right people at the right time, then you're seeing a play of a lot of billions here.
Will it tell me where Dave Chappelle is?
What's that?
Will it tell me where Dave Chappelle is?
There's an app that will
tell
just
me where
track
Dave Chappelle is and actually make sure I can
time.
get tickets. That'll be the future of this.
This is really addressing like half of the socialization problem, right? Because you're normally trying to optimize over not just what you do, but who you do it with.
Yeah.
So are you thinking about addressing that at all? So I have all these awesome friends, but I don't know who's available on a Monday night and interested in...
Here's my push to Facebook. Facebook, there's got to be a bunch of you guys out there who work at Facebook. You guys, we need some killer APIs, and there's a lot we can do with Facebook events here to make that a reality. And Facebook events has been relatively ignored to where it could be, and Weotta can actually take care of that for you guys.
Do you have a feedback loop? Like after I go out on one of your recommended dates, is there this worked, this didn't work, I would change it this way, or?
We do. It's not released in today's product that everybody gets to use for this, mostly because we're still doing a few things with that.
You're sending people out on these disaster dates and you just aren't accountable.
Twitter will be a great way for us to be publicly accountable. Just tweet us and tell us that thing sucked, that thing was wonderful, etc.
Another question on the coordination in my dinner and movie example.
Yeah.
So it's not enough to sort of have a recommendation for a movie and a recommendation for dinner, but they have to fit together. And so you're showing that they're kind of maybe geographically nearby. But are you going to that extra level and saying, I actually have reservations available at the restaurant at this time and movie tickets at this time, click here and do it all for me?
So that's where I talk about the excess inventory part. We need to link in a lot deeper with a lot of these publishers and these providers of the inventory. We've already started talking to some of the major providers. I'm surprised they talked to a startup as early as us, but they are very interested because it's the problem they have not been able to solve themselves. So as we expand our team, that's something we're going to be able to do very well.
Okay, well, we're out
in
of
the
time.
right place.
So round of applause for Weotta.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea how this shouting out questions in the middle of the thing is going to work. I didn't really think that through. But carry on. It's kind of entertaining. All right, we're going to move on. We got two more startups to go. Yep, just slightly more than halfway through. Some exciting ones. I think if there